Good afternoon. Welcome back. It is Sunday, December 24th, 2023. We are winding down the year, which means we're winding down the birthday and event series. And we're going to start off. There's no events today. I would have been really surprised in the history of racing if there was any major motorsports events from now to the end of the year. There might be one or two between now and New Year's. We'll have to wait and see. We got two birthdays to talk about today. First one, born on this day in 1963, journeyman IndyCar driver that ran sporadically from the mid-80s to the mid-90s, finally made his first Indy 500 start after a DNQ in 1989. He made his IRL debut, or Indy 500 debut, in 1996. During that first year of the split, Mr. Scott Harrington. Now, I believe, as the story goes, there you see he ran one IndyCar race in 1989. But as the story goes, to make that 1996 Indy 500, Mr. Harrington had to sell off. I believe he had some pretty exotic sports car that he sold off to finance his Indy 500 ride, and ended up finishing in the top 15. Though he crashed out late in the race, so not sure where he ended up in the red or in the black out of that deal, but nonetheless did something that many people will never ever get to do in their lifetime: race in the Indy 500. Our second and final birthday today is the son of a NASCAR journeyman driver of the 1980s. Born on this day in 1985, former Nationwide Xfinity Busch Series, whatever you want to call it, Rookie of the Year. Raced for Rookie of the Year in Cup, and has been a very steady hand at any car he gets in. And that would be Mr. David Ragan. Of course, his father, Ken Ragan, ran in NASCAR in the mid-80s. There's a look at the Roush truck. He was one of those gong show winners from that Roush time. 2007 raced in the Xfinity Series, even though that's a 2009 card. But in 2007 was I believe he was the Rookie of the Year that season. Then, here we go. And I've kind of got these out of order a little bit, but there we go. We got him in the AAA, replaced Mark Martin in that famous number 6 car at Roush. Then the big brown truck decided they wanted him to drive for them, and he got that sponsorship and maintained it till he left Roush a few years later. Now, he went between Front Row, and he had one season at BK Racing. Not sure why that was, but, BK Racing, we all know the story is there. But he found his forever home really at Front Row, and other drivers have too. I believe David Gilliland was one, and now Michael McDowell is one. But these guys, they had a good ride. I say they. David had, obviously Roush, but he went to Front Row and proved to be very good. Didn't tear up a lot of equipment, was always consistent, and you knew on the speedways he was going to be a factor. So he ended up getting one win for Front Row. Their first, was it their first? Yeah, at Talladega. I believe that was 2013 maybe. And then we'll get some pictures of the different cars. There's that AAA. There's a couple versions there. There's a red roof one and a blue roof one. And I'm sure they were advertising various insurance or whatever it is that AAA had, because I know AAA and Auto Club and all those were various companies along the same lines. I don't know what the different marketing campaigns were at that time. We said we had the big brown truck show up for David Ragan as well. Here's one of the cars he drove for Front Row, and they kind of rotated them out between 34 and 38 and 35 and 36, and whatever numbers they were running at the time. There's a good look at the Select Blinds car, and I think that's the last one that I have. But yeah, happy birthday to those two. Hope you guys enjoy your Christmas Eve, and we will see you tomorrow. So thanks again for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Christmas Eve.